Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We're finally doing it. We are making a plyo box out of one single sheet of plywood. This design came after my last design, which used about a sheet and a little bit, and I got a lot of requests to try to design something that was only one sheet of plywood. So I do have plans for this box. The best way to do it is get the plans and then follow along with the video. I do talk about some dimensions and things like that, and they're going to make a whole lot more sense if you've got the plans sitting in front of you. Everything I talk about in this video, and including the plans, can all be found in the description. If you are new to the channel, guys, please subscribe, hit that like button, and follow along with anything else you find interesting. Enjoy. Alright, so we cut everything we needed to at 29 1/4. These are going to be our 30 by 24 pieces, and these are going to be our 30 by 20 pieces for the other height of the box. And then over here is all the offcuts. That's everything that wasn't cut to 29 1/4. And actually, if you just look at my sheet here, we cut these guys and these guys right here. You can see those are our two rip cuts at 24. Key to accuracy with this kind of project and all these big sheets of plywood is moving the fence as little as possible. And actually, if you look at this, I have a clamp, clamping it down literally just to be as accurate as possible so it doesn't move. So our next cut is gonna be 24 inches, I believe. We're gonna move our fence at 24, go through our list, cut everything we need to at 24, and then 20, and then our last one, which is 15. So yeah, that's the idea there. So next cut, we'll move that to 24, and we'll start working on our pile of everything we got left after those last cross cuts. Okay, real quick, with the CNC machines cutting out the handles, I prefer to do that before this step, just so you don't have to, if you're using a CNC machine, cut the handle holes out with dados in the board. Keeping it square is a little easier that way. If you don't have a CNC machine, I did this with a jigsaw in my last video. You can check that out. It's just as easy. I can just multitask this way. But I'm just gonna change this out for a dado stack. We're gonna cut a 3/8 inch dado by 3/4 inches width of the plywood all the way around that short side, the 24 by 20 side, which you'll see. And I'm gonna run that, like I said, after the handle's cut out, but I'm gonna run it on all of these pieces. So I'll set this dado stack up. We'll set our fence to 23 1/4, run the long side. Set our fence to 18 1/4, run the short side. We have all the sides cut out. We've dadoed them, ripped some dados, and cut out the handles So we still have our saw set up with the dado stack in it, and it's 3/4 because we set it for our side so we know that the width is right on. And if you look at the plans, we're gonna be ripping some dados down the center of these, what are those? Basically 18.5 by 24. So we're gonna keep the saw where it is. We're gonna set the fence so it's halfway down that next panel. Keep everything set. We like that 3/8 inch depth, and we'll move on to these parts. Okay, now that we have all of our pieces cut out, we're gonna start to assemble the box. And this really only goes together one way. Follow along or just kind of figure it out yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we're gonna need a front and a back. Those are 29 by whatever it was, 18.5 pieces. I put a couple logos on these just so I know which ones they are. That makes life a little easier. So we got our front and back. We need 2 sides. Those are gonna be the boards with our handle holds on them. We need the top and bottom. Those are our long skinny ones with our dados down the center, which you just saw. And then finally, we need our spacer pieces or our center support, whatever you wanna call them. These are the pieces that are gonna slide in that center dado and basically a middle support in the middle of the box. It's a lot of middles, but you get the idea. The reason it's in 2 pieces is just that's the way the piece of plywood was broken down. Doesn't make a difference. They stack on top of each other and they're just as structurally sound. So this is just a nice way to use up a little of that extra wood and gives us the ability to get 1 box per sheet of plywood. So one thing I like to do is mark with a pencil 3/8 of an inch in on all the faces that I'm screwing. That gives me a nice mark to hit so the screw goes through the center of the 3/4 inch piece of plywood. That way I'm not guessing or splintering anything off. It looks nice and clean, concise. The other thing I do is use a story stick if you're not familiar with that. Basically mark out your first piece of wood and then here I can just kind of show you. You'll see when I put it together, I'll probably make one, but anyway, it's just a story stick, so it's just a stick. And when you mark your pieces, mark them on the stick. So the next box you go and do, you can just put your story stick up to the side of the piece of plywood and all your measurements are right there. So without any further ado, let's start screwing this thing together. Awesome, guys, we're done. Thank you for hanging out. Do me a favor, pick up a set of those plans, support the channel, like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, share this with your friends. Always remember to trust your guide, and we'll see you next time.